Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to send you that message, and hopefully you guys can see that because today we're going to do what we did yesterday. Monday. Thank you. Oops. Hit the wrong. Okay. However, what we're going to do, we're still going to estimate the mean, okay? But now it's going to be for a what? Small sample. And a small sample is any sample that's no more than 30. All right? Okay? So this is, we call a small sample. No more than 30, small sample. Now, when you do that, technically, ladies and gentlemen, you use a different distribution that looks like the normal distribution. It's really called the student's distribution, T distribution. So I want you guys to see this here together. Because back in the day, when we studied this, and we had to compute the error formula and use this format back in the day, we had to use that T distribution, ladies and gentlemen. And students had to use a T table right here. Same confidence levels. But now with a T table, but we don't use a T table, we're going to use a what? TI calculator, okay? Yes. So, here's what I want to say. You guys are going to use right here in the TI calculator something called the T what interval today. Today is the T what? T interval. Good, good. And that's the difference. So you guys will say, wow, that's the same thing. Yes, it is, but we're going to use the T interval because our samples are going to be what? Yes. Small sample size. Okay, you guys okay with that? No, it's not the normal. It's the T. This is called the student's distribution. Yes. And you say, what is the student's distribution? Well, T approximates Z for small samples. Okay? Bless you.
Thank you.
All right, now let's go through an example for you guys. And what I did is we revisited this question we did yesterday or the other day. Notice this question as we read here, right? It says a sample of what? 25 college students indicate it took them a mean of what?
6.8 years.
With a standard deviation of what? 0.9 years to earn a bachelor's degree. Okay. And then now they say use the what?
99% confidence level.
Good. To
Estimate.
estimate the what? True mean years to earn your bachelor's degree. Okay. So everything is what we did before. What is the 25 going to be? Good. And notice it's small. If you say, that's a small sample, T what? T interval. Okay, a mean from the small sample, 6.8, this is my what? Well, sample mean, X bar, sample mean. You guys okay with that? It's a mean from the small sample. Standard deviation is what again? S, 0.9. All right, you guys okay with that? And then we're going to use the what? 99% confidence level, that's what they're saying, to estimate the what? True mean, mu. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is what you want to do with all of these. Go back and read and label. You have a question? No? Zoom out. Okay. So I would say here, your sample N is what? 25. The sample mean is what? 6.8. The sample standard deviation is point what?
9.
And then you put your confidence level being 99. So confidence level is point what?
9.
And that's all the information you guys need to use your what? Bless you. Your calculator. But you're going to use T interval. Good. So personally, this is what I would write down for everything. Because we're going to use the T interval now. But to do that, remember, we got to go where? Stat. Test. Don't go to Z. Go to what? Number 8. Good. T interval. Why? Small sample. T interval. Why? Small sample. Okay, now keep it on stats. Go to the sample mean. What's the sample mean? Is it 6.8? Okay, you see this S with the X? Remember, that's your sample standard deviation. It's 0.9. What was the sample size? 25. What was the confidence level? 0.99. Ladies and gentlemen, this is all the information you need to do this question. So go, I'm going to scroll in. So take a look. Compare that to what you have. This is our information we extracted from the question. Here's the calculator. Information, calculator. Or do they match? Good. And then hit now what? Hit your enter. And ladies and gentlemen, there's your answer. What's the lower bound value to the nearest thousands? Okay, let's write this down. 6.297 is less than mu, which is less than what? 7.30 what? 3. Going to the thousandths, okay? So remember, you got your lower bound value estimate. You got your upper bound value estimate. And you have your what? Mean. And you can say this is with what? 99% what? Confidence. Mm-hmm. There you go. Easy peasy what? Lemon squeezy. So the small sample is indicating it takes students about between 6.297 years and 7.303 years. That's what the small sample. So ladies and gentlemen, this is just like before, but you now have a what? Small sample, and when you have a small sample, you use T interval. Okay. And I gave you guys your procedure there, T interval. All right. Yes. The Z is for a large sample. A T is for a what? Small sample. What's a small sample?
30
No more than 30 data values. What's a large sample? Over 30. You guys okay with that? You guys see what I'm saying? Now take a look. I wanted to give you guys a real kind of question. Does anybody here have insomnia? Good. You go, what is insomnia? You guys know here's what's called a clinical trial, a medical trial. That this was conducted to test the effectiveness of a drug on insomnia patients that had a mean wake time of 108.6 minutes without the drug. Now let me go through some details here. When they say they had a mean wake time of 108.6 minutes without a drug, that's the time that they went to bed and put their head on the pillow and then fell asleep. You guys okay with that? They had no drug. So they measured that with people and they go, oh, okay, this group of people had a mean wake time of 108.6 minutes without the drug. Now, here's what they did with the people. A sample of what? 18 insomnia patients who took the what? They took the drug. What did they report? A mean wake time of 96.2 minutes. And had a standard deviation of what? Now that's horrible. That's a big standard deviation, just to let you guys know. There could have been an outlier in there. Anyway. All righty. Now they say to do what? Use a 95% confidence level to what? All righty. Now remember, this whole exercise today is on what? Small what? Samples. Is 18 data value small? Good. Is it under 30? Good. That's N. Okay, I'm going to keep my samples in red. And what's the sample mean? 96.2. What's the sample standard deviation? 43.6. What's your confidence level? And then what's the mean? Yeah. So we're going to write this down. Okay, let's write it down. Here we go. Sample size is what? 18. Okay, good. What was the sample mean with the drug? 96.2 minutes. What's the sample standard deviation?
43.6.
What's the confidence level?
95%.
So again, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be what? All we need. All we need. Okay, we're going to use now what? Yeah, you're going to use your TI. Since it's a small sample, you use what? T interval. Small sample. Under 30. So it's going to be easy peasy today. You say, okay, how easy is it? Well, go to your calculator. And what do we do in the calculator now? Remember this? Stat, test, number 8. What is number 8? T interval. Sample mean is what? 96.2. What's the sample standard deviation? So that's sample size. What's the confidence level? So go back if you want. You know, we can scroll in and look at this. Go back and take a look at what? Take a look at all these details. Double check if everything's what? Okay. Isn't that T interval? Small sample? All right, now get to hit the enter for calculate and you are done. All right, here's your answers. Let's read about this. The true mean is between what? 74 point what? Which is less than mu. Which is less than what? 0.88. And we say this again with 95% what? Confidence level. So, ladies and gentlemen, the true mean is between 74.518 minutes and 117.88 minutes. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the true mean. Lives between these two values. Okay, so I don't know. You might say, is that drug effective? Well, kind of. You know, that the lower bound value is 74.518 minutes. The upper bound is even more, 117.88 minutes. So compared to that 108.6 minutes. Anyway, it has a big standard deviation. That's where the issue is. The consistency of the data is not very good. So just want to point that out to you guys. Okay, so maybe insomnia is a tough thing to treat. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Your parents have insomnia? Your grandma does? She takes what? Does it help her? Does she like it? No, she doesn't. All right. I'm just trying to find out what to take. All right. Huh? Yeah, I think you got to let it go and relax. Put away the social media. Put away is your grandma on social media? No, okay, well. You never know these days.
Before bed. Any screen. TV. Blue light will keep you awake.
Maybe shut off the TV at 5 and read a book. Anyway, I don't know. How about this? Age of male college students. Okay. A survey of 25 male college students, that's still a sample, report a mean age of what? 26.6 years with a standard deviation. What's the standard deviation? Use what? 90% confidence level to do what?
Estimate the true mean age.
Estimate the true mean age.
What's the mean age? 26.6?
Okay. So go back and write down what your data is. What's the sample size? 25. What's the sample mean? Sample standard deviation. What's your confidence level? So remember what I do. I actually write all these things down. I recommend you do that because you get in some good habits. You guys know what I'm saying? Because then if you do it this way on a test, you're not even thinking, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not thinking, you might not be as nervous even because you're working as opposed to thinking. So you're training yourself to get these right answers, okay? And I would even say go as far as to do what? Write down the actual function, which is going to be again what? T what? T interval. Okay, so let's go to the TI and let's do what? Stat, test, go down to T interval, number 8, okay? Now, what's the sample mean? Was it 26.6? It's okay. Sample standard deviation's what? 3.8. What's the sample size? And what's the confidence level? 90% confidence. Is that right? So what do we do with this now? It's double check. Check to see if we're accurate. Double check. What we wrote down is what we entered. You guys know what I mean? It's always good to double check. And then hit what? Calculate. Okay? Now, let's see. What do we end up with? Yes, we're going to say, what's the mean age? 25.3 less than mu. Less than 27.9. And then we can say this with what? 90% confidence. Lower bound, what else? Upper bound. Here's your mean. Here's your answer, ladies and gentlemen. Easy peasy, lemon what? Squeezy. Okay? That the mean age of male college students is somewhere between 25.3 and 27.9 what? Years. Yes. And again, T interval as your instructions. So what I want to do now is this. I'm going to test you guys on this, okay? All right, let's test you guys. I'm going to do something a little different. How come it doesn't change? All right. Let's think about something you guys care about. How about this? A sample of 12 college students reveal a mean of, how about this? 5.6 hours of sleep the night before a test with a standard deviation of 1.8 hours. Use the 90% confidence level to estimate the true what? Mean. I'm going to give you guys some time to try this out yourself, because that's how you what? Learn, okay? Practice yourself. Let's try this out. Let's see what you guys get. You guys ready? I don't even know what that is. Is it a video game? Okay, let's read. You guys know what I'm saying? It says a sample of what? 12 college students reveal a mean. Okay, a mean of what? 5.6 hours of sleep the night before a test with a standard deviation of what? 1.8 hours. You're going to use the what? To estimate the what? Estimate the true mean. Okay, so our sample size is 12. Sample mean is 5.6 with a sample standard deviation of 1.8. We got a 90% confidence level, and we're going to try to estimate the true what? True mean, okay? So remember, write these things down, okay? What's your sample size N? 12. Is that small? So because it's small, what do you use? Good. T interval. Good. See, you guys can do this. What's your sample mean going to be? 5.6. Good. Sample standard deviation. 1.8. What's the confidence level? Good job, ladies and gentlemen. You're all set. Just enter this in your TI. Under T interval. Let's try this out, okay? Now here we go. Stat. Test. Go down to what? T interval. Okay, what's the sample mean? 5.6. What's the sample standard deviation? 1.8. What's the sample size? 12. What's your confidence level? 0.90. It was on 90%. So if you like, go back and check. Check these things. Okay, does it look like we're okay? Hit enter. And we'll scroll right in. Let's go to the thousandths, ladies and gentlemen. What are they saying here? Yeah, the true mean's between what? 4.667 less than mu, less than what? 6.533. We say this with 90% what? Confidence. Sorry, let's take a look. So this is the amount of sleep college students get the night before a test, between 4.667 hours and 6.533 hours. And that's how you handle small samples. Now, here's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to give you guys another example here. Let's go through this. If I ask you this question here, I'm going to gather data here, okay? How many pets do you what? Have. So how many pets do you have? Let's see. One. The gentleman. How many pets? Yeah. Oh, good. It's the best answer. 0. One. Okay. I like this sample. Notice I said sample. Why is that a sample?
Because you do not ask everybody.
I did not ask everyone. Absolutely. This is taking a what? Sample. Okay. You guys know where I'm going with this? They're going to say this. Use the 95% confidence level to estimate the true what? Mean. Now, here's the thing about this. As we read it, we know we're going to use the 95% confidence level. We're going to estimate the true mean. Is that right? So let's write that down. Confidence level, estimate the true mean. That's mu. Okay? Let's see, what's your sample here? How many data values are in that sample?
11.
Okay, so you might say, how do we know? We got to count, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And we gathered 11 data values. Isn't that small? Good. So that's going to be important to know. And then you say, but Mr. Judge, I don't have the sample mean. I don't even have the sample standard deviation. We do have the 95% confidence level. And we know we're going to have to use the what? T interval, yes.
Could you, can you put it in your stat calculator?
Well, that's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to put this in our what? TI. So what I'm going to remind you guys is, remember the first test? You go, oh, that's just so long ago. Okay, I'm going to go to my website. We'll take you to 227. And table of contents. You guys okay with that? So here's where we go. Where does this gathering? No. Summary of data, mean, median, and mode. Okay, and then I did this worksheet for you guys. The TI-84. You guys remember this procedures? Well, it's back, ladies and gentlemen. It's back. So you guys should be jumping up and down and happy because why? We're going to enter this data values in our TI calculator, okay? Let's go back and review the procedure. Remember, what did I say the problem with the course is? Language and what? Process. Okay. So we're going to have to go enter this data as a list. So remember, we go to stat, but it's stat, edit, edit. Is that true? Well, it's already on edit, edit. So it's pretty much stat, enter. I'm going to have to clear out list 1. So go up and hit clear. Go back down, and now we're free. We can enter all the data values. So the first data value is what? 1, enter. 0, enter. 1, enter. 1, enter. And then 2, enter. 2, enter. 0, enter. 3, enter. 0, enter. 2, enter. 1, enter. There's your data values. All right, you guys okay with that? All right, now you say, what do you do next? You go to stat, calculate now, and calculate one variable stats. Okay, we're going to do L1, hit calculate. So let's see, what do we end up with? Let's see, what do we get here? Do you guys remember? What are we looking for? Okay, let's go to the mean to the nearest thousandths. What is that? 1.18 what? Okay, go to the standard deviation. Where's that? Isn't that SX? Yes, standard deviation for X, the data. So it's 0.98 what? 2. So I want you guys to remember this. You go, oh yeah. I remember, yes. But it gets even better. It gets better. Now go back, ladies and gentlemen. This is now, we're now able to use what now? T interval. All right, go back here. Let's go to stat like we did before. Stat, now test. Which is T interval? Number 8 is T interval. Is that right? I want you guys to take a good look. You should be very, very what? Why are you guys so happy with this? It actually remembered what you did in one variable stats L1. All you got to do now is what? Change the confidence level. Good job. And what is it? 0.95, okay? Hold on, let's finish this. You guys see the point? Let's hit enter and you're done. So ladies and gentlemen, what is this answer? Right? Let's go to the thousands again. What's this going to be? 0.522 less than mu less than 1.841. So ladies and gentlemen, lower, mean, upper, and we say this again with what? 95% what? Confidence. Easy peasy lemon what? Squeezy. This is the number of pets. Now, we had a question. What's the question? Okay, let me remind you guys this question here. All right, let's go back here. You guys want to know. Remember this? Remember these $1 million notes I spent all my time, energy, and blood doing? $1 million notes. Why did I do that? Anybody know? Why did I do that? I'm going to put that in the what? Comment in the chat. You guys with me on this? Well, hold on. Hold on. This is, what if Mr. Judge is not around and you have a question, you don't even know how to get your questions answered? Yes, that's what I'm showing you guys. So that procedure you already had on your test. I want to remind you guys, are you going to see that on your final too? Yeah, not possibly. I'll say most definitely. This is a common procedure. We're going to see it again, but I'm going to change the example. Here we go. I'm going to ask you this question. It's the first time I ever answered this question. I'm going to give you guys another list of data. How old is, I'm not going to ask you, oh, let's ask you your age. I was going to say, how old is your favorite parent? Should we ask? You say, no, don't ask that question. That's what I'm going to say. How old are you?
How old are you, Mr. Judge?
I'm forever 25. Hey, if you can shop at Forever 21, I can say I'm Forever 25. How old are you? 25? You too? Forever 25. How old are you? Okay. How old?
46.
Okay. How old? 25 seems to be a pretty popular age. How old? How old?
Oh, 19.
How old?
27.
And I think I'm going to stop right there because I want to give you guys a different sample size. And now we're going to say now here, use the what? 99% what? Confidence level to estimate the what? True mean. So again, you got this confidence level and we got the true mean. Is that true mu? So this time, notice this. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, what? 7. 7 data values. So my sample size is n is 7. And I'm going to do this here. I'm just going to put confidence level is point what? 99. You guys okay with that? You might even say, why did you leave out the mean and the standard deviation? Because if I enter this in the TI, what's going to happen? It'll stay there in the memory. So I want you guys to recall now, okay? How do we get to list 1? Let's take a look. Let's scroll out. I gave you guys the procedure, so it's going to be what? Stat, edit, what? Edit. Just hit enter. And you see, you already have a list 1. Clear it out. Go up here. Clear. Come back down. You now can enter. 25. Enter. 22. Enter. 46. Enter. 25. Enter. 19. Enter another 19, and then 27. Okay, are there 7 data values there? You guys see what I'm saying? You guys remember that from test 1? All right, now I'm going to do this. I'm going to hit stat, calculate 1 variable stats. It's already on that. Stat, calculate 1. Variable stats. Yes, L1 is where my data is. I want you to calculate. And so, ladies and gentlemen, if you like, you can write down the sample mean. I think I'll write it down. 26.143 to the thousandths. SX, standard deviation, is 9 point what? 281. Okay, but I am going to now go to T interval. How do we go there? Stat, test, T interval. Take a look. Don't I have the same mean, the same standard deviation, and the same sample size here? I sure do. I just have to change the confidence level to what? The 99% confidence level. Hit calculate. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're done. What's this going to be? 13 point what? 137 less than mu, less than what? 39.149. And we say this again with what? 99% what? Confidence. So you're going to have a lower bound value. And then you're going to have a what? Upper bound value. This is with 99% confidence. Remember, this is a small sample. All right, you guys okay with that? It's only 7 data values, by the way. What do you guys think? Yes. Okay. Now remember, what do I always say? Practice makes what? Perfect. But when do you want to practice? Now. You don't wait till the night before a test to practice. That's the worst time you do. Anybody play organized sports? Do you guys know what I'm saying? Imagine, did you ever get mad at those teammates that only practiced the night before? You can always tell. How can you always tell those teammates only practiced the night before? They're the ones with all the what? The errors. They're the ones always making all the errors. They didn't know how to throw the ball even. You guys know what I'm talking about? You can always tell. So that reminds me of test taking. If you only practice the night before, you can't expect to be a master at what you're doing. Because you only had that night before practice, right? You might have listened to coach, but it's not enough. You got to what? Practice, and then do what? More practice. So you can do it in your sleep. You guys don't even know. I'm asleep right now. I could do this in my sleep. I'm trying to find your class on my website. This is so... I don't like computers. I have 2 and it doesn't even work. Should we do another question? Should I have you guys practice? Should we try another one? Okay, let's ask you guys another question. How do we say... Oh, let's ask you this personal question. How many units are you taking this semester?
That's a great question.
Let's gather. How many units? 15. How many? 7. How many?
14.
The gentleman, how many units?
I don't remember what you said. Dropped them.
It's okay. Were you a bot? Because we're supposed to drop all the bots. Do you guys know what bots are? There's bot students out there. They're not real. The gentleman over here, how many units? Do we? Oh, we went. How many units?
9.
13?
15.
And the gentleman? Holy moly. Holy moly. You guys, 15 units? I think I only did that once in my life and never again did I do it. Oops, sorry. I shouldn't tell you guys that, but okay. Use the 90% confidence level to estimate the true mean. Look at that. We can do this quick, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just go through the highlighting. We can do that quick. Confidence level, true mean. So I'm going to write it down. Confidence level is 0.90. You say, how can I do that quick? Well, I'm going to just enter my data. 15, 7, 14, 15, 13, 9, 15, 15, 15. Enter your data in your TI calculator. Okay, quit. Stat, edit, edit, go up here, clear that out, come back down. 15, 7, 14, 15, 13, 9, 15, 15, 15, okay? Did I enter the data? All right, now we got to calculate it. So we got to go say stat, calculate one variable stats. Yes, we want to calculate list 1. Okay, the average is really 13.11 units. Standard deviation is about 3.018. 9 data values were collected. Now, let's finish this off. We're going to find that estimate. Stat, test. Is this a small sample? Is it Z interval or T interval? T, good, small sample. Notice this is the same mean, same standard deviation, same sample size. I just have to change the confidence level to what? Isn't it the 90% confidence level? Change that to 90. Scroll down, 0.90, hit enter, calculate, and ladies and gentlemen, here we go. You guys ready? Let's see, what's the mean amount of units college students are taking? 11.24 less than mu, less than what? 14.982, and we say this again with what? 90% what? Confidence. Lower bound value. Upper bound value. What is this? Mu. We say this with what? 90% confidence. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's the story. 11.24 units, 14.982 units. Notice how fast that was. How long did it really take us to do this? You guys know how long? About 2 or 3 minutes. That's how much practice, or I should say, that's what practice will do for you. It'll make you quick and what? Fast. Where do you get your practice at? Homework. So I would say do your homework, because you know there are those students that, you know what they do? You go, Mr. Judge, I'm smarter than you. I don't even do any homework. I just look at your study guide, and when I turn in my homework, I copy your solutions. And then what happens though?
They failed the test.
Yes, because they never what?
Did the work.
Practice and did the work. So I do have your homework there. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Stay safe. Take care. Have a wonderful day.